What's up guys, Baron here. Today we are here with a movie review. Yes, you heard me right, we are doing cinema content this Wednesday. So far we have done Pokemon content on this channel, but I thought we would take this time to expand the channel a bit and do a variety of things to both hopefully entertain you guys and to challenge me as a creator. So what movie should we start with? Well, apart from being a huge Pokemon fan, I am also a big fan of superheroes. They show us an ideal image of how we want to be as individuals and teach us to stand up for ourselves. Black Panther, Marvel's new hit, is a clear-cut example of this. Not only that, many critics and reviewers have said that it is a revolutionary movie and that it changes the Marvel Cinematic Universe that it's part of. So with that in mind, today we're going to look at 3 reasons why the Black Panther changes the format of superhero movies, and sort of a review of it. If you enjoyed this video though, make sure to drop a huge like, and of course subscribe so you never miss an upload from me. But with that being said, let's get into the video. Number 1. Direction. Now this is a big deal for the movie. With Ryan Coogler's credentials with movies such as Rocky's spin-off Creed, he certainly had his work cut out for him. But most films that have been made by Marvel in the past had been directed by movie directors that focused on the action and the cool bugawunda effects in Marvel movies. And while this sells big bucks for Marvel, it certainly doesn't challenge the audience. Then occasionally, we get movies like Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain America Winter Soldier from them with excellent directors that understand that a superhero movie can not only be driven by its fights. In Guardians of the Galaxy, this is a form of comedy slapstick humor that we get the alternative to just the pure raw action. And it really works. And in terms of Winter Soldier, it's driven by its characters and the conflicts between them. And the ever-gloom of a spy thrill in the movie helps too. So what can we say about Black Panther in terms of this? Well, Black Panther is instead driven by the moral dilemmas of its characters. Its hero, King T'Challa, is to be crowned king in the beginning of the movie. And while he, at this point, is not a cocky prick like Iron Man and Thor, he certainly has it easy and is carefree. It is only through the movie's progression that he learns what to prioritize and to fix what his predecessors did wrong. The movie flows along in a natural progression by this and never strays far away from it, making it a very tight and gripping story. And let's talk about the cinematography for a moment, because it's just absolutely gorgeous. From the many scenes in Wakanda, South Korea, and especially the scenes in the sort of spiritual realm that T'Challa goes to visit and his deceased father, is absolutely crisp and gorgeous. We also get distinct feels for each scene. This is accomplished through different color patterns. For example, in Wakanda, we get a reliance on the colors yellow and red, and in South Korea we see a big usage of the color blue. The action scenes too are just great. In many Marvel movies, we get 3 frames per punch, with the camera going on so much we almost get lost in the rapid intervals. Black Panther instead shows long single frames, where we get to follow one character as he or she moves around an area fighting. This, as you could predict, makes for dullness, but it really works in this movie due to the rapid combat styles and the swiftness of the fights. Kinda reminds me of the original Matrix movies, where we see this trend too, making the movie super intriguing too, demanding us to pay attention. And come to think of it, this isn't the first time Ryan Coogler does this in his movie. With Creed, his boxing movie, having a boxing scene simply with 1 frame. It's quite impressive when you think about it. The second point I want to make is the soundtrack of the film. Set to the beat of Kendrick Lamar's godlike beats, the music has an interesting combination of both portraying classical African music, perfectly oozing the aura of Wakanda, but it also has a huge technological vibe to it, reminding us that it is a science fiction movie. In the fighting scenes, the music was so intense you couldn't help to bob your head and follow along. It really immerses you into the story. It also has like a big sort of tribal warlike thing going on, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Marvel's tracks have certainly been bombastic and blockbuster-like in the past, but none of them have really set the theme for the movie and have had such a distinct feeling for the soundtrack like the Black Panther has had. With this in mind, can we look at the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with each movie having a very unique soundtrack? A movie's way less without great music, making the movie feel both distinct and engaging. And with this in mind, we can certainly hope that with Avengers Infinity War coming this May, we get a very bombastic and futuresque soundtrack that will stand out among the ages. The third and final point I want to make is how the movie challenges the audience. Now, this isn't new for movies in general, I'll give you that. There are tons of movies that bring the audience face to face with difficult dilemmas where the audience truly have to pick a side. This is a part of an engaging movie and a good intrigue between an antagonist and a protagonist. It's just rare to see in these kind of movies. It's superhero movies. Usually it's just the villain saying evilly, "Mwahahaha, I'm evil and strong, so I'm gonna conquer the world because of being all powerful." And while yes, this villain, Killmonger, is set on taking over the world, setting his goals and desires on the top of the food chain, he also is a very calculated, motivated, and relatable guy. I mean, this man has like an extensive plan of how to reach his goals, and he does it with both precision and masterfulness. And what is his motive? To make things right due to how he was treated as a person of color. That is like a very relatable goal. And while, yeah, most people I'd assume wouldn't conquer the world for it, they certainly feel the same anguish and hopelessness that Killmonger feels. Not only that, this motive is handled extremely well in the movie, with extensive dialogue behind it and actually impacting the hero. While in many movies, the hero simply stops the villain from doing the bad thing, this movie has the hero go through an internal conflict due to the villain and his motive, and changes by the end. The character actually changes because of the villain's motives. That's just excellent writing right there. And with Marvel movies usually having the very pantomime villain with a weak motive. Yes, Loki is an exception here, but most of the villains are generally unrelatable and just not impacting the hero at all, or very little, than just having to be stopped. It is definitely a breeze of fresh air. We can only hope that this is a trend that Marvel keeps going. So guys, that was my review. Are you planning to watch this movie? If you already have, what do you think of it? Did you agree with my points? And are you a Marvel fan in general? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, please hit that like button if you enjoyed this review, and the channel in general. And of course, subscribe so you never miss an upload from me. It really goes a long way to help the channel. With that being said though, thank you for checking out the video. I'm gonna get the hashtag out of here. Thank you for watching, I've been Baron, and I will see you in another episode. Stay awesome.